Shalom Vacha. Hi everyone. We are in the portion Re'eh, see, sight. In the book of Deuteronomy, we said that in this book, Moses, the mentor, the prophet, the leader, the rabbi, is guiding us how to deal with all the challenges that we're going to face. And if we're bringing it close to our life, all the challenges that we're going to face in our relationships. That relationship, we can divide them to main three divisions. My relationship with myself, my relationship with my surroundings, and my relationship with my Creator, the one who created me. That now in the Jewish world, as sometimes we refer as a king, sometimes we refer as a father, which there are two different attitudes to the wisdom, to the way I perceive that relationship. And it's interesting that if I will take this model of two, king and father, and I will duplicate it in all divisions, as well with myself, I'll see blessings. For example, with yourself, you need sometimes to be the king, the ruler, to be in control. To be in control, which is very hard, not simple. To limit yourself, to work with your limitations, with your borders, because there's a kingdom. You are the kingdom, and in order to have things in place and in order and organization, you need to rule. This thought yes, and that thought no. How much I love here and how much I do not love. Yes, and it's in this portion. Moses is guiding us as a mentor. We're saying that the book of Deuteronomy is the book that helps us. Moses is helping us to digest the wisdom of the divine, to bring it and to emphasize it into our daily challenges. And in this portion, it starts with Re'eh, see. See, I present before you today a blessing and a curse. Excuse me, in Hebrew, little bit different. ראה אנוכי נותן לפניכם היום ברכה וקללה. Moses is telling us, ראה, I want you to see that to this life, you can see it as contradiction, dualistic state. See, ראה, I want you to understand, to have a sight, to know that to any kind of scenario, within any kind of friction, challenge in your life, there are two sides to the coin. Blessing and curse. Curse doesn't sound good. In Hebrew, curse is klala. Klala, not good. Klala from mekulkal. It's ruin. When you taste food and it's not good, mekulkal. Meaning, Moses is telling the Israelites, now you're before entering the land. I want to give you guidelines, insights, tools that will help you to create order, organization, and to draw blessing and prosperity to your life. First, see. Second, observe. Dualistic state. I have here two sides of the coin. Sometimes they contradict. They're opposites. And the way when you will observe these two sides, you will observe the light and the darkness, the bitterness and the sweetness, the good and that is not good, the divine and the evil inclination. When you'll observe those two, over there, re'eh, observation, see, have the right side. remember that right now you have the freedom of choice. And this is one of the important foundation that we've received in Judaism, the principle of free choice, to have a choice. And that's what Moses is telling us. When you're going to go into the land, then you're going to face your relationships, your frictions, your challenges, your relationships. Sometimes with the boss, sometimes with your worker, your employee, sometimes with your parents, sometimes with your children, between you as man and a woman in relationship. To every scenario, every friction, every challenge, there is two ways. There is the blessing, there is the way, the attitude that will draw blessing, and there is the attitude that will draw into your life the opposite of prosperity. You will ruin your own life, you will destroy your own life, you will bring upon you something that is not good. And hey, everything is okay. I'm here to remind you that Moses is saying to the Israelites that when you're going to face, working with the land, you're not anymore in the desert, like in a monk state of mind. Nothing is bothering me, no physicalities, no mundane problems and whatever relates to it. I'm only with spirituality. No, when you'll come to Israel, when you'll come into the Holy Land, you need to refine all that there is in it. And when you will see something in your mind's eye, when you will go through a challenge, through a scenario, through a relationship, through a certain communication with yourself, with your surrounding, with God, there's always two sides, opposites. There is duality. Remember, you have a freedom to choice. I've created the light and the darkness. Why I created them both, why I didn't make the whole world like good, that's a beautiful philosophical question that we can ask God, why everything is not good. Because if everything was good, then you wouldn't have this principle of choice, to choose. Think, in all creation, only men, only human they are the division that can make a choice. No one can make a choice. A lion will stay a lion till the rest of his life. A duck will stay a duck till the rest of his life. Same with the papaya. But you can choose to be papaya, to be a duck, to be a lion, to be gentle, to be rude. You have a freedom to choose. And God, Moses is telling them, be mindful. And that's the mental procedure with every scenario you're going through. If we'll take an example, you had a friction in a relationship in your close circles, father, mother, daughter, son, your husband, your wife. You went through the scenario, you went through this challenge, and you're finding yourself a bit like in pain, sorrow, anger, anxiety. Go back after you relaxed a bit, not when you're in bad temper. Breathe in, eat something, sleep, rest, then look backward. See the whole scenario. There is the way you operated, and there's always another possibility. If you draw into your time and space in that relationship the opposite of blessings, negativities and anxieties, so you're not happy. So what you need to do to light up the situation. Ha'er, re'eh, see, Re'eh, Resh, Aleph, Hey. If we read it in Hebrew from the last letter to the first letter, it's the same letter of Ha'er, to light up, to enlight, to see the good. How I draw myself and I create, how I sweetening the scenario. So you will look back at whatever happened in your scenario and you will see, this is the way I operated. I operate usually through my ego, through my automatic like behaviors, through my patterns. That's what I'm used to. Just think with yourself. Is there another possibility? For example, in a place that you found yourself answering and trying to justify, contemplate with myself. There's another way. I could just keep quiet and not to justify myself, just to listen, not to talk. By that, maybe when you're looking at the scenario back, maybe you will light it up. Maybe you will turn it into good. Maybe you would, you know with yourself that if I wouldn't open my mouth and I'll just keep quiet and be receptive, maybe the whole scenario would have changed. And God is telling us, Re'eh, I'm putting in front of you, before you today, blessing and a curse, the path of good and not good. In words of Torah, it says the path of good are the commandments, what to do. And there is what you're not allowed to do. Do not do. Al taseh. And really, if we're taking time to examine our own life and to observe our own scenarios, and we would see that if we'll allow ourselves to go into the scriptures and to see that the halacha is saying, those are the things that you wouldn't do. Those are the statutes, the sentences, the laws that you're supposed to do. And if we will look into them, we would see that deep inside us, our will and what we thought that we're supposed to do at that time, and the Torah is parallel, it's the same thing. Like, in different words, when we're allowing ourselves to elevate our consciousness, our awareness by learning Torah and of course the word of Hasidut, then we're learning how not, when we have this like fire to do something and we know we're not supposed to do it, we will have the consciousness and awareness what not to do. And by doing that, then we will feel blessing in our life. But sometimes we feel the opposite of blessing. So let's wrap it up. What we're supposed to do, what is the insight that Moses is giving us in the first lines of the portion Re'eh, see. Re'eh, ha'er, you're supposed to light the situation that right now you are within. Remember that you have two options. There's always options to operate. According to my nature, my ego, my patterns, probably I blew it up, I didn't work out properly. Go backwards. Observe, see. There's a path of that you feel that you ruined the situation, and of course you're in it, anxiety, pain, sorrow. And is there another possibility that I could deal with the situation? Just ask yourself. Believe me, your intuition, your divine intelligence will help you to find it, because you're doing a work of refinement. God is there listening to your thoughts, helping you in finding another way. And the more you will do this practice in daily life, to retreat back to the scenario, saying consciously to your subconscious mind that operate automatically, that's the way I suppose to operate. Slowly, it will merge into your daily life. And there will be an inner voice while you are being in another scenario that almost the same. Suddenly you will hear your own inner voice. There is another possibility. There's another possibility that will draw blessing into our life. And the portion of Re'eh is being read every year in the beginning of the month of Elul. Elul in in Kabbalah, in numerology, is 67. Exactly like the Sephirah Binah, knowledge. Knowledge is the ability to go into details. Chodesh Elul, it's coming from the word in Aramic, Elul, vayaturu, vaye'alelu, to look for, to search. To search for the good in things, to reach the source and essence of everything, to reach my essence, the source of things, the right wisdom. That's the power of Elul. And we see that in the sky, the astrological sign of Elul is Virgo. Virgo goes for modesty, purity, holiness. And in this month, a Jew is looking back into the past year. And he's examining, he's doing like cheshbon nefesh. He's contemplating with himself, like, what's going on? With what? With my business. What do you mean with my business? With my life. My life is the most important business. What's going on in my life? And then he's looking in with the power of knowledge into details of things, and he's elevating back in his memory, in his book of life, certain scenarios, and over there he's observing his moves, his thoughts, his talks, his action. Could I have operate differently? Can I do things in a different way? Is there another possibility, another approach to things? And if you'll only ask that, that's the power of wisdom, the sphere of wisdom. The wise one asks questions, and through questions, he's guiding you. And through questions, you can guide yourself. And Moses is telling us straight after Re'eh, sight, it says in the book of Hasidut that in the month of Elul, we're starting with it because God is telling them, Re'eh Anochi. Anochi is the essence of light. It's the infinite. It's the revelation of light that we received in Mount Sinai when we got the 10 Commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. It's I. The I have no name, the essence of the light. Re'eh, see, Anochi, that from above all conditionings, above all rules, there is my light that shines into your soul, into your neshama. Noten, give. Give, it says in the Talmud that someone give, he's supposed to give with a good heart. We say be'ain yafa in Hebrew. I mean be'ain yafa, that he gives really from his heart. He's not like that. He's not tight. He's really allowing himself to give. When he's giving, he's a real giver. And if God is telling us to do that in his wisdom, so he's doing exactly what he's telling us, is a beautiful example. So again, the verse, Re'eh, Anochi, Re'eh, see, Anochi, the higher state of the light, the essence of the light, gives into your soul. When I give plenty, I give in a good eye to your essence, lepnim yudchem, not before you. Before you in English it's not the right English, it's not, you don't get the right words, the right meaning. Lifnechem in the Talmud, it says to your essence, to inside you. There's a light in the world that I give you right now to your essence. And when? Every day, Hayom, God is giving us every day the power to do what? To see this duality and to turn the darkness to light, the bitterness to sweet, the not good to good, the curse to blessing. Remember, it's up to you. You have the choice. And I give you the power to choose in blessing, and not just the power on an energetic level, as well mentally. I planted my wisdom in the Torah, and Moses is now giving it to you. And it's amazing to see that after that, straight away, it says that if you go in different ways, different methods, different wisdoms, different light, if you will go in this light, you will find yourself that you move from the path of God. And I'm telling you, when you'll observe that, remember what the wisdom that I shared with you. And when you come to the land, what I want you first to do, it's to clean it. To clean it from what? From idol worshipping. From all kind of wisdom and methods. Why? Because every wisdom, every method, shining its light, its energy in the world, in the universe. And maybe it's very good, it's very beautiful, and it's helped to a certain extent. But if we agree that there is an artist, the creator, and he created this world, he have his way. And he's testifying that this is the truth, which is something very not simple to say in a world today, in a spiritual market, that we think that there's so many truths. You coming and declaring that's the truth? Observe your life. See your life where you are, see where you are at. And always allow yourself to be open and receptive to listen. Maybe there's another possibility that will take you out, that will elevate you from this negativity, anxiety, fears, mistrust. You got stuck in your life and relationship. Maybe there's another way. But in order to connect to this path, Moses is saying to us, you have to clean the earth from the energy and to come and build me a temple and to work in my spiritual guidelines. But remember, something is going to disturb you. What? In the desert, the sons of Israel, they used to eat meat, not kosher meat, and they had a desire towards the blood. When you're going to come to Israel, you cannot drink the blood anymore. What does it mean you cannot eat and drink the blood anymore with the meat? The meat have to be kosher. You have to slaughter it in a certain way that it will be kosher. Because what you eat is that you are. The food that you eat become part of your blood. And in the portion of the week, God is telling us what to eat and why not to eat. Why? Because according to Kabbalah, everything is one. Everything is one divine energy. And when God created reality within that energy, with this divine energy, in the process of creating the world, things are being created and they are not, how do you say that, of the essence of the light. They are not good. A certain energy being dressed in these things. When I mean that, for example, you cannot eat a pig, you cannot eat seafood, you need to be mindful of the wine that you drink, if it's been opened by a Jew that shomer Shabbat or not. Why? Because everything is energy. And we creating, reflecting, and receiving energy. And everything is very sensitive. And know that you have desire to eat the blood. Why? Because within the blood, the soul is being dressed. The blood is the soul. For example, God forbid, like if suddenly there's no blood in your body, the soul cannot connect. The soul is connecting to the blood. So the soul is within the blood. You cannot eat the blood. What does it symbolize? It's symbolizing that within the soul, within the blood, there is the soul. The blood is hot. It's the desire towards earthly, physical things. Remember that when you'll have desire to earthly, physical things, and over there, why you are attracted to this desire, Ki te'aven nafshecha le'echol basar. When your soul will desire to eat meat, that's what it means. Let's think about it. Does the soul want to eat meat, or it's your physical body that wants to eat meat? In Kabbalah and Chassidut, it's telling us that when you have an earthly desire, any kind of desire, a physical desire, which according to the Torah, a Jew is supposed to elevate himself from his mundane and physical desires and to slowly hold life of divine attributes and divine desires, spiritual one desires. When you will find yourself being attracted to certain desires, when you'll come to Israel, and when you will be challenges with nisyonot, with tests, remember that who's being attracted to that desire? It's your soul. Ki te'aveh nafshecha le'echol basar. When your soul would desire to eat meat, meaning that the soul, the neshama, see the divine spark that within the meat, within whatever is there, within the desire, with the hot desire, and your soul, your neshama, is being attracted to that spark, which for you it's an nisayon, because your neshama wants to elevate the spark within your nisayon, within that earthly pleasure. There is a spark that need to be elevated. You need to learn something out of it. You need, and sometimes one of the most important lessons out of it, it's when you're getting into a certain desire, it's to keep quiet, just to observe it, not to welcome it into your life. That's an insight. That's wisdom. When you went through a certain nisayon, you suddenly realize that actually what I went through came to teach me something in life. How to let go, unconditional love, to be less selfish. And when you understand what God wanted out of you with this trial, you will Parshat Re'eh, you will see, you will enlighten the situation, you will reveal the divine spark, and you'll bring it back to its unity. You will take the earthly, the physicality, and you will turn it into spirituality. And that's our duty. God is spiritual. He created physicality. He put the souls within reality, so they will take physicality and turn it into spirituality. So remember when we have desires, it's because we have certain divine spark there that await us to refine it, to elevate it. And sometimes the highest elevations are when we sing this desire. We just remember, there's two dualistic states. There is two. Do I relate to it? Do I give it attention? Or I don't give it attention? I draw my attention away from it. That's the hardest of all. When you see that desire and you feel that attraction, but you're strong enough to bring your limitations, to put the limitation and say, no, I know that if I'll go there, maybe it will turn into a big curse. I will ruin things. It could be create a big mess, and sometimes it's hard. Especially when love and passion's coming into and blurring your mind and you're getting all cloudy. It's not simple. So the work is, see, I put in front of you right now this test. Re'eh ha'er. You're supposed to enlighten. You're supposed to bring blessing. You're supposed to draw yourself towards the blessing of it. So what is your choice? How are you going to deal with things? When a person really observing this awareness, this mindfulness, we can understand that there's no one to blame in anything. It's very easy to blame someone, even God or someone or myself, in things that are happening to me. It's not even blaming yourself. It's just a remember.